Passport Bros Guide to Long-Term Love. We're examining how the passport bro journey involves beyond initial attraction. We're dissecting the sustained effort required to bridge cultural divides for genuine long-term international partnerships. We'll confront the realities of navigating commitment, family expectations, and differing communication styles once the initial fantasy fades, offering a roadmap for enduring love. The guide to long-term relationships within the passport bro community, right, must start at traveling, right? Let's be honest, you got to start somewhere, right? Here's what I want you to do, right? Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you the official free guide to being a successful passport, right? But you got to start somewhere. And that first step is obtaining your passport. If you don't have one, I need you to get one, right? I need you to get a passport, right? Depending on the urgency of your travels, right? You can get those expedited passports, or you can wait, a few weeks for one, right? But the first step is to get your passport, right? And this is something that I personally do. Maybe not really so much now, because I've been to all of the places that I've wanted to go to, maybe besides Nigeria. Nigeria's always been on my list. Lagos always been on my list. But for the most part, there aren't any countries that I want to go to that I haven't, right? But here's what you can do, right? And here's what I suggest people to do that are contemplating traveling overseas but don't really know where to go, right? Simple. Figure out what you like, right? Figure out what you like. First step is figuring out what you like. That's the first step, right? Here's the thing. I know if I'm into to Asian women, right, I'm not going to be looking at Africa. I'm not going to be looking at Europe. I'm not going to be looking at a lot of places, because 9 times out of 10, you're really not going to find them, right? If they're there, they're in small communities. So let's say you're into Asian women. Cool. You have a lot of places to choose from within Asia itself. All right, start breaking down some of these cultural differences, right? Let's say you like kimchi, right? Let's say you like bulgogi, right? That's a Korean dish, right? So start trying to find things in these countries that uh will give you and your future partner possibly, right? Something more in common, right? Because if you don't like kimchi, you don't like bulgogi, you don't like all of these Korean dishes, right? If you find someone from Korea, for example, you're not going to like the smell of kimchi. Trust me, I still hate the smell of kimchi to this day. You're not going to like their cooking, right? Because if you're from America, right? If you are from America, right? And you find a woman in Asia, we're using the Asian as an example. She's not coming over cooking macaroni and cheese, potato salad, rice, cornbread, candy yams, spinach, chicken and dumplings. She's not coming over cooking sweet and sour chicken, right? She's not coming over cooking pad thai, right? These women in these countries are going to be coming over cooking their traditional dishes. So I suggest you find something in that country that you're interested in other than the women itself, right? So if you like some of these Korean dishes, and I love Korean dishes, right? I love Korean dishes. I was in Korea for a while. I love Korean dishes. I love bulgogi. I don't know if bulgogi's Korean or yeah. I love bulgogi, like especially when they make it spicy. There's a lot of things that I do love about Korea now that I didn't necessarily love when I was there, but I love Korean dishes. So get in contact with a culture that you're into, right? A good topic, a religion, right? Let's say she's Thai, right? As an example, maybe a horrible example, but it's an example nonetheless, right? A good portion of them are Buddhists, right? They have different beliefs, right? You can Google their beliefs. I've met plenty of women that said they sent their sons off to be monks, or go through that little whatever it is they call it when a child is a teenager and they go off and shave their head, shave their eyebrows. I've met plenty of women that said that they sent their son off to do that, right? So you have to have something in common with these cultures, right? If you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever faith that you have, right? Mormon, right? Whatever faith that you have, and let's say you're a firm believer in, you're not sending your son off to be on no monk journey, right? If you're a firm believer in, you're not sending your son off to be on no monk journey, maybe Thailand might not be the place for you, right? So find things in common with these women outside of their looks, even though looks should be number one. All right, number two. And this is, I'll be throwing jabs at different countries, right? I have nothing against any of these Asian countries. And I've said this, and I've said this before. Everyone that I know that has bought land, bought houses, bought businesses, for women in women's names, right, has been in Philippines and Thailand. I'm just gonna be honest. Like every man that I've ever met in my life that told me a story of buying land, buying a house, starting a business, 100% of them, I can't even say 99, 100% of the men that have told me stories about buying property in foreign countries, these countries have been Philippines and Thailand. I'm just gonna be honest. The truth can never be considered disrespect. I don't know why men are suckered into doing such a thing, right? Excuse me. I don't know why men are convinced into doing such a thing, but all of the men that I've met, and I'm saying this for the 100th time, that have bought property and stuff have bought these things in the Philippines and in Thailand, right? And as I've discussed, and I want to discuss, you can't go to Thailand and buy land and start a business and buy a house. You can't go to Thailand and buy a house and be a majority owner, right? You just can't, right? You can't, right? You just can't, right? I would never work, right, to make money unless you got inheritance. I would never work, right, and save and invest and do whatever you do to make money to go overseas and buy property or land or some sort of real estate investment, quote unquote, for it to be in someone else's name, right? I would never take my money to buy something to be in someone else's name. I don't care how good it is. I don't care how beautiful she looks. I don't care what she said. I don't care if she has a PhD. I would never, ever in my life take my money to go buy some property or some real estate for it to be in someone else's name, for me not to be a majority owner. I would never do it. I would, and I don't see why a lot of these guys do it, but I don't listen. I'm trying not to throw jabs at Thailand and Philippines, even though it's quite easy. If no, I'm not gonna throw jab. Listen, but just know from my experience and the stories that I've heard and people that have told me to my face, a lot of women, especially in the Philippines, uh, they want some sort of investment into. She's gonna say y'all future, but technically it's her future because she's gonna be the majority owner, right? So look into the physical attributes, right? This is going to be how you determine where you're going. The physical attributes, if you're in Asia, of course. Then deep dive into the cultural aspects of that particular country, the food, the religion, stuff along those lines, just to ensure that y'all are aligned, y'all are yoked, y'all see the same vision, right? Because me personally, my son is not, going to no monk. He's not shaving his hair. He's not shaving his eyebrows, his lashes, then going off. Like that's just not happening, right? It's it's not happening, right? Like there's just certain things and certain cultures and religions and countries that it's not going to fly with me, right? So if you're okay with that, that's fine, right? Are there good women in these countries? Yes. I know I love throwing jabs at some of these countries. I'm not, isn't the truth can never be considered disrespect. I know I love throwing jabs at some of these countries, but there are some good women in these countries, along with every other country in the world. There are some good, there are some bad. Right now, if you're into Hispanics, Latinas, Mamacitas, right? If you're into that lifestyle, right, I got some news for you. Um, I think, right? I know people swerving down about Colombia, right? People promote Colombia like it's like it's the new Coca-Cola or something. I feel like Colombia is the worst place in the world to meet a Latino, a Hispanic, or someone that speaks Spanish, right? I feel like Colombia is the worst place in the world to meet a woman, to meet a mommy, right? I'm just gonna be honest with you. I feel like it's the worst place in the world to meet a mommy, right? You're gonna say, hey, why do you feel that way? Hmm, hmm. Great question. It's just, it's like going, I'm gonna compare Colombia to Pattaya. I'm naming cities. I can compare Colombia to Pattaya. I'm gonna compare Colombia to, I'm naming cities, Sosúa. Sosúa is Colombia. Pattaya is Colombia. And you say, hey, why do you say that? If you know, you know. It's because you're going to have a hard time finding a regular woman, right? And listen, I know we're talking about relationships and finding love and the passport rules guide to long-term love. I'm just trying to disqualify some places off the bat, right? Listen, I've been to Cartagena, I've been to Bogota, I've been to Medellin, I've been to I feel like I'm missing somewhere. Right, but I listen. Here's the thing. I'm gonna break it down to y'all, man. I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but you need to know this because Colombia is really hype, right? Nothing against it, but it's really hype. You're gonna have a hard time finding a regular woman, right? And I'm listen. There's good women in every country, right? I'm not saying there's no good woman in the whole entire country, but you're gonna have an extremely difficult time finding a regular woman. Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Right? Let me do some research for y'all real quick. Watch this. Watch this. Give me 1 second. Average monthly sell in Colombia. Uh, it's about $1,100. I mean, do your own research, but I'm telling you, it's about $1,100, right? The average, you know what average means. You went to school, you know what average means, right? It's not everyone makes $1,100, right? That's the average, right? So the average salary is $1,100, right? Cool, cool, cool. Right? So I assume they get taxes taken out. So let's say she makes $400 every 2 weeks, right? Random number, right? Random number. She makes $400 every 2 weeks. Cool, cool. She meets a gringo, an expat, a passport bro, a traveler, a tourist, whatever, right? He takes her out, he wines and dines her, right? He's willing to spend, I'm just being honest, he's willing to spend $100, right? I've done it, right? Allegedly, right? The other guys have done it allegedly, right? He's willing to meet up with her once or twice and spend $100 here, right? $100 there. So she met up with him twice, right? Gave him the time of his life, right? She made $200. Cool. She meets another guy, and this is the bad Colombians. The average looking ones can't do this, but the bad Colombians, right? It's some bad ones, right? But average looking ones can't do this, right? So the bad ones, okay, she meets another dude, right? She meets up with him once or twice. Let's say once, right? Because some women usually meet once, you don't see them. Let's say once. All right, shoot. She got another $100. Cool. Bam. All right, meets up with a third dude, right? Got another $100. That's $400 in a week. It's 7 days in a week. All she got to do is spend 30 minutes, right? With three guys or four guys, right? She got $400 in a week. you times that by 4, 1,600. That's no taxes. That's no, state or federal or Social Security or Medicare, however they do it in Colombia. So she made 1,600 a month just off 3 guys a week. Some guys might tip, right? So we can just stay with the 1,600 $1,600 a month. She made more than the average salary with 3 guys a week, right? Because some guys be doing that girlfriend experience, cool, whatever. Damn, tender going on, man. If you got it, you got it. Hold on, give me a sec. Oh man, all right, I wanted this one too. Oh yeah. Oh, wish I'd show y'all. Uh, bonus daughters. Sorry, man. Y'all know gotta prioritize. What time is it in San Domingo? It's afternoon. I'm sorry, guys. Good afternoon, beautiful. Pretty on you. How are you? I want to start this. Yeah, I needed this one. You the one, girl. So $1,600 a month, right? That's more than the average salary in Colombia, right? And let's just say she has a job and she makes $1,100 a month. 16 and 11 is what? 2,700. So she's making twice the salary of the average person in Colombia. And I said that to say this. So hey, where are you going with this? You're going down a dead end. No, I'm not. I said that to say this. Oh, that was quick. Shoot. Steph Curry with the shot. I said that to say this, right? And I'm talking about Colombia specifically. Even women that are not working, even women that are not working, right? Pay attention. Even women that are not working will take $1,600 a month. Now, think about it for a second. Think about it. Think about me. You say, well, I communicate with my tender love. Even women that are not working will take $1,600 a month. You know, say it again. Even women that are not working will take $1,600 a month. So you're saying, hey, what do you mean? All right, here's what I mean. You're gonna meet women in Colombia that have regular jobs. People, oh, women in Colombia work, they have regular jobs. Cool, they do. You're gonna meet women in Colombia that have regular jobs, right? You are, right? People have regular jobs, right? But they're still gonna take $1,600 a month, and that's the illusion that a lot of these guys, these passport bros, these travelers, these fake influencers try to tell y'all, oh man, find a woman that has a job. Okay, she makes $800 a month, 11, $1,200 a month, but she can make 26, 3,000, 3,500. You think she ain't gonna take it? Huh? You think if she makes 1,200, she won't take 3,000? So here's my thing. I personally do not suggest people go to Colombia for a relationship. I don't, right? I don't think she's selling. I don't. I don't. I don't. Because a lot of women are gone. A lot of women are gone. A lot of women are gone, right? A lot of women are gone. A lot of them. It's similar to Sasua, similar to Patty. We're gonna have a hard time finding a woman that's not going, right? So if you're looking to the Latinas, the Spanish speaking ones, here's my stress. And I hate to give up the game, but I've kind of given it out. Southern gentleman kind of gave it out. The Dominican Republic, the DR, man. Listen, the DR, the DR. Are there women that's trying to do Trying to sell stuff to you in the DR, yes. But I got 20 women on my WhatsApp right now talking about a relationship. I got 20 women on my WhatsApp right now talking about relationship. 20. They ain't asking for $1. They ain't saying this, they ain't saying that. I got 20 women on my WhatsApp asking for relationship. I've been to Colombia quite a few times, and in all my times together, I have not met 20 women looking for a relationship. In all my times together in Colombia, I have not met 20 women looking for a relationship. On multiple occasions, I have not met 20 women in Colombia looking for a relationship. The truth can never be considered disrespect. The passport boat journey often starts with the fantasy, but maintaining a genuine international partnership demands far more than just a plane ticket. We're ripping back the curtain on the romanticized narratives to reveal the raw effort, cultural navigation, and sometimes uncomfortable truths required to build true long-term love across borders. And you're going to say, hey, how can I find a regular woman? Right? How can I find a regular woman? I'll give you some tips. I'm glad you asked. Like who likes you. Right? This is young lady, man. She messaged me yesterday, good morning. This girl in the center of me will message me good morning. Oh yeah, you different. I'm talking to a gazillion women in Santo Domingo, but one of them messaged me good morning. Good morning, puppy. Girl, you different. And these are the kind of women that I like. Here's the thing. How do you know if she's the right one? How do you know if she's gonna be different? She's gonna show you she's different. Yeah, some of it could be fake and lies, possibly. But if she's talking to 10 guys and 4 of them are sending her money, she don't really got to put all the effort and time in and message you good morning and how was your day. She don't have to. She got 4 guys on the side sending her money. You're going to see the signs that a woman is different. You're going to see the signs that she's into you. You're going to see the signs that she cares about you, right? Whether it's fake or not. How many women are showing that they care about you? You're going to see the signs that she's genuinely interested. And those signs are not going to be, can I have some money? I need this. My baby need this. My cow needs this. My parents need this. I need to pay this. I don't have this. I don't have that. Can you do this? Can you spare this? A woman that genuinely cares about you is not going to bring up money. That's when you know, deep down in your heart, respect. A woman that cares about you is not going to bring up money. That's when you know, deep down in your heart, that she